negotiated settlement when the threat of legislation is what the unions and the retirees were facing? I mean, how much of a negotiation is it?
Oh, it was. Well, you know, I think that I'm certain that we, in terms of our public communications, we did concentrate the minds, just as they did as well. Their position was publicly communicated as well, and I would just say we got a deal. It was a deal that is fair. It was a deal that was bargained in good faith by both sides, and so that is the ultimate end to the story, that both sides were able to come up to something. You know, quite frankly, we both put some water in our wine. And that's the nature of negotiated settlements, but this is definitely a win for taxpayers to the tune of $6.7 billion over the next 6 years.
Speaking of that water in the wine, in terms of the phase-in and the start of April 2015, that's a bit different than what perhaps was telegraphed in the budget. What will that mean for the bottom line for the government if it's a slower phase-in and a later start?
Yeah, it's fairly infinitesimal. I got to say, when you look at the total savings, it's a fraction of a fraction. So I wanted to be fair. I'd already signaled to the union earlier on in the negotiations that we were looking at a phase-in of 3 years. So to have a phase-in of 4 years does not make a meaningful difference in the bottom line.
Donc vous dites que vous avez un deal, mais on a l'impression que vous n'avez fait pas beaucoup de compromis.
Alors, c'est important d'avoir un accord que les deux côtés peuvent supporter, et c'est le cas aujourd'hui ici. C'est une situation que les deux côtés peuvent dire que c'est une décision, un accord qui est raisonnable et équitable. Je peux dire pour les contribuables, c'est un accord qui peut épargner plus de 6,7 milliards de dollars de 6 années.
On a l'impression que le message que ça envoie pour les prochaines négociations, c'est my way or the highway. C'est vous qui allez décider.
Je peux dire pour les autres discussions qu'il est possible d'avoir un accord avec le gouvernement du Canada, que moi-même, je peux agir dans une manière équitable et raisonnable, et j'espère que la même chose est possible pour les autres négociations.
You said there's more savings to be
Sorry,
found.
Julie.
What will this be for your average retiree per month? And you said there are other savings to be found. So what are you thinking of next?
Well, look, in terms of retirees, again, if you're below the threshold in terms of income, i.e. you're a low-income retiree, this does not affect you at all. So they will be not, there's no increases for them. For those who are above the threshold, you know, which is the majority of retirees, they have a fair retirement wage, that in those cases we're looking at an increase in terms of their contribution to their costs from about $24 a month to $48 a month. In answer to your question in terms of future savings, I chair a committee of cabinet that continues to look at ways to deliver back office operations of the government at a more fiscally responsible manner, not affecting services. But I think that we can still find some more examples where we can fix some back office inefficiencies and deliver excellent services. When we have something to announce, we'll certainly announce it. Last question.
When you said that there's more savings to come, and we've talked a little bit about how this negotiation came about, what are your predictions for how friendly negotiations will be going forward with the unions this spring?
Well, I guess I'm a born optimist. It pays to be a born optimist in this job. So a lot of people, including, I'm sure not yourself, but other commentators, said that it was impossible for us to reach a deal on this. That it was not likely to happen, and that we were headed for a clash. In this case, it was able to, again, to find the fair and reasonable path, still find that $6.7 billion in savings for the taxpayers, but at the same time be fair and reasonable. So I see no reason. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to always try to find a way to find the deal that works. We do believe very strongly on sick leave, that we have to change a system that isn't working, either for individual employees or for the taxpayer. But there's going to be lots of time for those discussions in the months ahead.